Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the TOULOUSE channel. We are back for the Champions Cup semi-finals. It is going to be Leinster taking on Toulouse, a massive clash, and the first of two games that we are going to get to see for Champions Cup semi-final action. The other game, La Rochelle taking on the Exeter Chiefs. That is tomorrow night. But for now, we've got this very exciting game, and I cannot wait. Looking through at the starting lineup for Leinster, it will be Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, and Tadhg Furlong. So certainly a different side than we did see last week in the URC up against the Bulls. Ross Maloney and James Ryan as the locks. Caelan Doris, Josh Van Den Flair, and Jack Conan, an extremely strong loose forward trio. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they do go head-to-head with some of these massive French forwards that we are going to see in this Toulouse starting lineup. Then it is Jameson Gibson Park, Ross Byrne. They are the 9-10 combo. Jimmy O'Brien, Charlie Nartai in the midfield alongside Gary Ringrose. Then also Jordan Lamar out on the right wing. Hugo Keenan slots in at number 15. Then for the French, it will be Sirobai in the front row alongside Pietro Malvaca and also Aldegri at number 3. Richie Arnold and Emmanuel Metheux at number 5. Jack Willis getting a slot in at number 6. Flemont at number 7. And Francois Cruz at number 8. Antoine Dupont and Romain Intermac, those two are definitely going to be dangerous throughout this matchup. And I think that's going to be maybe a big talking point, the fact that Intermac available for Toulouse, whereas no Johnny Sexton for the Leinster men in this contest. Matthias Labelle, he's been brilliant for Toulouse this season in the top 14, scoring tries for fun. Don't think this game will be any different. Peter Aki at number 12 with Pierre-Louis Barrazi on the outside, Juan Cruz Malia on the right wing, and then Thomas Ramos starting in at number 15. We have got there in the chat, Chiefs vs Crusaders, DMC says Momo Jumbo Kiwi, and also why aren't you doing the European Champions Cup or the Challenge Cup semi-finals? Well, because sleep is slightly just a little important. We will probably be doing the European Challenge Cup final, though, that has taken place and not too long at all. But yeah, with these games taking place at 2 a.m. and we have got busy days planned for the next couple, it does make it a little bit more tricky. But we are doing Exeter Chiefs versus La Rochelle. Fingers crossed that we will be able to get that job done. Cool Hoodie says, Gareth, thank you very much. Although the yellow's starting to, if I push it in, it doesn't think it's green. But as soon as that pops back out, it gets a little bit see-through. I hope you are doing very well, Gareth. Big love, Amish. Big love, lads. Welcome in, Sebastian. You've also been keeping well and you are excited for this contest. I got a weird accent there. French side and Toulouse versus the Irish side and Leinster. Now, these two sides, when you look at some of the names in there, it's pretty much what we saw for the Six Nations when it was Ireland taking on the French. The bench is very handy. Like I mentioned, no Johnny Sexton, some big forward replacements, including Julien Marchand for Toulouse. He will certainly be a very handy asset to have. The pies are in the air fryer, Hamish, says the snooze. Are they? What type of pies are you cooking in your air fryer? I know that we set up our new air fryer today because I'm not sure when Mother's Day is, but I ended up buying my mum a new air fryer, which I'm going to call as Mother's Day. But yeah, I just have to work out when that is. And it's a double basketed one because we have one that had the basket in the middle that rotate around. So I decided to get her one with the two baskets so she can do two things at once, or I can do two things at once, or anyone, one for each. Yeah, so Tadhg Furlong playing. He certainly is starting at number 3 for this contest for Leinster, but both sides just about to make their way out of the tunnel here. Waiting for the ready to go. That was interesting. We don't want too much of that cutting in and out at this hour of the morning. Steak and cheese. Big Ben got the whole freezer of free pies given this week, says the snooze. I've never tried a pie in the air fryer. Hopefully it does end up going all right for yourself, but they have got plenty of support at the ground for this matchup. It is taking place from, I want to say we're at RDS actually rather than the Aviva, if I'm not wrong, unless it's just because there's so many people in there. Maybe they've actually changed the color of the seats. Is that something that they do? Maybe we are actually, at the Aviva. It's just the fact that they have changed the seats from green to blue. And also, there aren't many spare seats by the looks of it, and steak and cheese pies, lush, says Gareth there. And the good afternoon. I did the easy part, I think. Pryhorn, is that how you'd say it? And the Warriors or the Roosters. I mean, last week's performance from the Warriors made me slightly concerned in their game up against the Storm, but I don't want to be that guy, but I think the Roosters take it by 6. But if they end up winning, then I'll be happy enough. The Warriors, that is. Now Toulouse going to be kicking off this one from left to right. I remember the last time we saw Toulouse playing up against Munster. That game went to golden point time. No one could split them. So they then ended up going to a kicking contest. And in the end, Dupont was one of the players who stepped up in that scenario. He's normally phenomenal. But it's going to be kicked off by Roman Intermac to get this one underway. The Champions Cup semi-final. Nicely taken by Jack Conan inside of his own 22. Looks like Jamison Gibson Park will be rolling this one back for a box kick. I heard the Roosters are a bunch of clocks, says Gareth, who's winning this game. Leinster, they've got the home field advantage, so that will certainly favour them. They are missing Johnny Sexton, which does slightly dwindle them a tad, and this Toulouse side are absolutely sensational. So it's a battle of the juggernauts, or it's a battle of the two big dogs. You'd almost have to say. Nice attacking run there from Cruz, although that ball did end up coming free for just half a second. Now Toulouse going off to the left-hand side. Ramos bowling outside to Peter Arkey. Wrestled down nicely by John Lamar. In fact, it might not. Yeah, no, it was him. I thought it was. Lama, I should say, rather than Lamar. Now around the side to Point. Short ball to Pietro Malvaca. And the fact that they've got him in the starting lineup and Julio Marchand still is absolutely incredible for Toulouse and talks of their depth. Leinster getting their ball back. Jimmy O'Brien having it in his hands now just out from their own goal line. Josh Van den Flair, a wide cutout pass. Now sells the dummy, carving up the middle. Nice ball to Jameson Gibson Park. Looks for the touchline, but also looks to try and keep it just in that field of play. Nicely taken by Juan Cruz Malia, but a lot of pressure on him by Jordan Lama. Now Toulouse inside of their own 22. Now there will be quite a bit of a territory game being played between these two sides relatively early on. And the French flags from Gareth, anyone but the Irish. There's Gareth. So does that mean you're also back in La Rochelle, or do you feel differently about the English? Are the Exeter Chiefs team you'd like to see go far? It is going to be kicked into touch zone. Nice clearing kick from Toulouse and Antoine Dupont. Richie Arnold, he did actually have that ball, and it did get knocked out of his hands, unfortunately, in that big shot put in by Josh Van den Flair. But a good attacking opportunity from Leinster. And able to find that inside ball to Jameson Gibson Park, and it was a well-weighted kick as well. But Dan Sheehan now gets the ball in for Leinster, 40 metres out from Toulouse's line, going with the skip pass, short pop-up to Hugo Keenan. Leinster, their line speed is always something to admire, and this is beautiful play out to the right-hand side. Gibson Park, short ball, good attacking carry from James Ryan. Now trying to milk the advantage. Did he get it in the end? Nope. They do say that he was just onside, and the ball has almost been turned over by Toulouse, but they do end up having to give it up in the end. Now another short run from Ross Byrne this time. James Ryan, both locks getting involved too. MQB lads never misses a match. Serge Langer in there as well. I'll be honest, I had a quick sleep before this match. It got to around 11:50 p.m. And I don't know whether or not it was because we had gone fishing earlier on today or what it was, but I was absolutely shattered. So I was sitting here like this, and I was like, if I don't have a sleep, I'm going to end up sleeping on the stream. So you popped to bed, had about an hour sleep, just a quick wee snooze, and then got up, set the alarm. Luckily, you set 2 alarms just in case, and that worked well for me because I did fall back asleep after the first one. And we're here. Did end up giving away the early penalty, though, there to Toulouse at about 20 metres out from the line. So because of that, it does mean now that the kicking opportunity for Ross Byrne is available. First kick of the game. Should be the first points, though. And I realised that the poll that we had was actually who's going to score the first points of the day. It was actually pretty close to 50-50. How's the bowling alley job? It's an interesting one. At the moment, I've got a meeting on Tuesday in regards to it. It's a bit of a weird one at the moment in terms of it's past the school holidays and now they've got to work out what they are actually doing with me. Because yeah, they've got all these ideas, but they don't know how to put them to paper. So they don't know whether I'm the one who's going to be able to do that for them. But then saying that, it's contract stuff. And Jack Conan almost broke his ankle there just trying to line up that kick. But yeah, I should know more in a couple days' time. Anyway, but I have been picking up more hours on the building side of things as well. All Northern Hemisphere residents in the house, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. I will say they are a little bit more of a rarer breed for us at times, the Northern Hemisphere folk, but very appreciated. Everyone tuning in? No. Now 5 minutes gone in this contest. Currently 3-0 for Leinster. Now Jameson Gibson Park rolls this one to the back. And what we'll do is we'll once again get a poll going for who is going to win the match. There we go. We'll go either Leinster. Oh, that's not how you spell Leinster. Leinster and also Toulouse. There we go. I don't know why that poll did end up ending. It seemed weird because it was all happy to keep going and then it stopped. I'm not sure when though. And also no, and also the Irish flags. Now, nicely done again by the Toulouse number 2, Malvaka. Looks like the sun is out for this game as well. It's an absolutely beautiful afternoon for a game of semi-final rugby. Now Toulouse going off to the short side, a little bit of pressure being formed there. Jack Willis not able to hang on to it. Now Dupont trying to snipe through the defensive line. He is definitely one of those main key players with a nice wide cutout pass to Matthias Lebel. He's got plenty of pace when he gets a massive shot being put in by Tyke Furlong. Toulouse just at the moment struggling to find that gap in the Leinster defence. Flamand, nice carry. Now Dupont goes off to Thomas Ramos, who is joining the line playing from fly half just for that one little play. Sirubai, tackled low by Jack Conan. We're up to 8 phases at the moment. Pieto Malvaka once again going off to the left-hand side. Toulouse, if they can get themselves the penalty, they will certainly take it on. But nice wide pass out to Matthias Lebel. Backs himself on the outside with the pace that he certainly has. And now goes for the chip in behind. Doesn't quite work. And ends up with the mark being called by Leinster. Now kicked way back downfield. Nicely taken by Thomas Ramos, who is covering nicely. And tell them to never sell red wine. It attracts the wrong type, says Flesh. And that is a massive and brilliant kick from Thomas Ramos. The 50-22 will go the way of Toulouse here. Just a low, floaty one. Managed to get around the outside of Hugo Keenan. He'll be frustrated with that one. And started shining there. Bundy Aki got the right jersey on. Says the Blues Nate. And 16:07 here in Norway. Big kudos to Hamish. Must be late for you. Yeah, we are sitting 2:09 a.m. at the moment here in New Zealand, which I would say it's not the worst time in terms of the Northern Hemisphere start times. I always find that around that 3 a.m.'s a bit more rough, but it's an interesting one. It doesn't quite give you enough time to sleep beforehand, but it certainly gives you enough time to sleep afterwards. Although I think we're doing something around lunchtime. So I'll end up going to sleep, waking up 6 or 7 hours later and being all ready to go for another day of action. Pieto Malvaka now throwing the ball in. Nicely taken by Flamand. And now that one has gone straight down to Toulouse. They do say that they collapsed it themselves. That is the call from referee Wayne Barnes. Now going off to the right-hand side. Sirubai tries to spin out of the tackle with Furlong. When two props do clash, normally you know about it. You can see the men going flying everywhere. Now Dupont going off to Intermac. Wide cutout pass. They are favouring the side with Lebel. Now nice run. And it will be the try now for Peter Aki. And Toulouse, the first try scorers of this one. Are you going to watch the Storm or the Stories versus the Bulls game? I wish I could watch that one, which I believe is the Western Province and the Bulls that has taken place in the Curry Cup, isn't it? That would be a fantastic game. And it's just around the corner. But yeah, sadly, we will have to sleep at some point. I sometimes wish I wasn't in New Zealand for the time zone side of things, just because there are so many great games that happen during the night. But good attack and run from Peter Aki. And like I mentioned, this left-hand side is definitely the one that you've got to watch out for, because they've got Matthias Lebel, who's got brilliant pace. They are just checking something here. Or are we just, no, they were just showing Jack Willis's run. I thought they were looking for some sort of knock-on in the breakdown. Midnight here, the werewolf howling away. The next door neighbor says lose Nate and La Rochelle versus Exeter. Yep, that is the other one. And the Stormers, sorry, typo. And there, so the Stormers versus the Bulls game we will be covering on the channel. It's next week in the URC, isn't it? We've got those 4 quarterfinal games that we are going to be covering on the channel. Thomas Ramos, first kick of the game, about 30 metres out. 38 metres out, I should say. And man, I hope Toulouse win, says Gareth. Try, says Fleshin. And it's Fleshin versus Gareth in the Challenge Cup. See, I could blame time zones for why I'm not doing that game, but maybe instead I should be blaming the fact that because we've got people on both sides, it would just be too emotional to be able to call that contest, which I don't think anyone is buying. Lebel went out to Peter Aki. He still had Pietro Malvaca on his outside if he wanted it. I will turn on that light. That did absolutely nothing. I think Leinster are fave, says CK. It's a tricky one. I believe they did come in as just favourites over Toulouse, only because they've got the home field advantage. If Toulouse were at home and Leinster were away from home, it probably would have been the exact same, just reverse type thing. So only just the favourites. Currently a good start to the match from Toulouse, getting the first try of the match, like I mentioned. Downfield from Antoine Dupont, getting a little bit of distance on it, but it will be about 40 metres out now that Leinster have got themselves the line out. Some very nervous coaches. It's a shame because at the end of this game, one of these great sides are gone from the Champions Cup. It's the reality of the knockout rugby that we do see. It's a shame, as always. Love to see both of these sides make it through to that final, but instead it will be either La Rochelle or Exeter Chiefs on that other side. And also we have got there, you need some sleep, mate. You're only human. No need to cook up excuses. There's Sebastian. That's going to be a knock-on advantage, or in fact, no, it's a high tackle advantage, sorry, in favour of Leinster, now out wide. But a step in from Jordan Lama, now cuts back on the inside, goes for the kick. Actually ends up sitting back up for his teammate after it was partially charged down. And who won the Crusaders versus Chiefs? Cameron, by the way, Hamish. You got a name change. So, the Crusaders versus Chiefs game was won by the Chiefs by 10 points. So that does mean that Crusaders walked away without a bonus point in that contest. I believe it was 34-24, the end score. And Leinster might be phased to win, but they aren't anyone's favourite team, says Gareth. In Premier Sports Asia, the main rugby streaming side in Asia, is playing women's rugby instead of this game, so relying on this, says Daniel. So I will try my absolute best to give you the play-by-play as closely as I can. Feel like there's a lot of pressure now, isn't there? It is going to be, once again, Ross Byrne lining up. This time, 3 points again. Leinster won't be minding just getting as many early points as they can, any means necessary at this stage of the match. They know that they've got a talented fullback and that quick line speed. Got to try and slowly wear down Toulouse in this game. And that was liquid confidence, Fleshin. I was confident last night, but it's draining away as we get closer, says Fleshin. Oh. Okay. Ball was a little bit too tilted. Ross Byrne decided. He's actually got a very low kicking tee, which seems to be the case with a lot more players nowadays. I've actually noticed from looking at the tees, there was, I want to say about 4 or so years ago, everyone was obsessed with these massive tees that were that big. And it used to be like you could stick it up there and it would be way off the ground. And that seemed to be the one that everyone was going for. But I think then people realized that if you just have it lower, you actually, I guess you strike it cleaner. Your body's not trying to adjust a little bit higher, not trying to kick it just out in front of you. And Glasgow struggling with injuries. I may have to watch the game with one eye shut, says Kerr. Although I will mention, Kerr, URC, when it comes around, we should have a Glasgow game. I'm sure you will be. The thing is, I know that because I haven't done any Glasgow games, the one game that we do end up doing at Glasgow, you might be missing. And then, yeah. Oh, that's a good kick. It jumps into touch. That was silly from Ramos. Did end up trying to take that catch, but instead jumped out. That was kind of the opposite of what we normally end up seeing it. Yeah, it was confusing from Ramos. I think he just wanted to get that ball out. And Amy, is Wayne Barnes still a ref? Haven't seen him in ages. He must look like a Viking now. I think he ages like fine wine. He seems to be still looking that same age, but he never looked young, Wayne Barnes. Nothing against the guy and his ability to grow hair or wrinkle, I guess you could say, but he's always looked like he's in his kind of mid-30s, early 40s. But he's just looked like that for about 18 years. Now it's going to be knocked on by Toulouse up to the 22. Good attack and play from Leinster. And also still waiting on Glasgow versus the Canes Rugby Challenge 4 game. Jeez, that's a wee while ago, isn't it? That we promised that one. I actually ran it by George, and then he was like, no, we're going to play WWE. And I was like, okay, fair enough. It doesn't relate to much in terms of what else we've done on the channel, but we did it. And where could you stick it? Says Distracted Sports. That's a great question, Tony. What time is it in Malaysia at the moment, Tony? I know that they're, I think, about 6 hours behind us here in Kiwi land. It might be just in the nice evening time of about 10:30-ish. Ramos should jump on the bus and go, says the snooze. Yeah, it's probably a rare mistake from Ramos. We're not used to seeing it from that man. We have currently got a 14.5-minute little break here. Looks like the injury for Pierre-Louis Barassi. Like he's going to be making his way off the field. And that is an early injury and an early sub that they have to make here, which is not ideal because this game's being played at quite a high tempo. You want to have as many players left near the end of the game as you can. But the replacement, it's the number 22, Uro. Is that how we say it? Uro. And I'm now in Ireland, France in a couple of days, says Kerr. Yeah, tell you what, you are making plenty of ground. It's 17, oh, sorry, 10, I got caught off, Tony. I read the last part. It's 10-17 over here, you sexy beast. I'm glad you think so, Tony. We've now just got to convince a few ladies the same thing. You know, although I caught a few fish today. Ladies like fishermen, don't they? I guess as long as they don't smell like fish, which at the moment I possibly do because I think I have fish blood on my shorts. Is that sexy, Tony? WWE, no, come on now. Rarest Rugby Challenge 4 says nay. Yeah, we actually ended up filming WWE yesterday as well. George is pretty keen on it at the moment. So, yeah, we ended up filming for a few hours and then the file halfway stopped recording after about an hour and a half. So, yeah, there'll be some random bits where it just randomly pretty much cuts out. Now off to the right-hand side, Joshua Van den Fleur again, moving up to the 22. Jameson gives him park, goes off to the left-hand side. Caelan Doris has been nailed in that shot. That was a huge hit to the midsection. Now, nice short pass, looked a little bit forward to Ngatai. And Leinster just using the forwards and the backs, as you do when you play rugby, but they just seem to be mixing it. Oh, that's a deliberate knockdown for Thomas Ramos, and the penalty goes against them, and it's a yellow card. That is massive. Yeah, hunter-gathered types are really panty droppers, says Distracted Sports. And two things taste like fish. One is fish, says Kerr. We might be fishing today, ladies and gentlemen. We had a good day yesterday, though. Like, we ended up catching fish. My dad, he finished his round of golf, and he was up at the golf club. And he was pretty much just trying to find people who wanted fish. So we ended up giving a few more to Graham. Some of you guys will remember Graham from the other live stream. We ended up giving him 3 more today. We gave an ex-fisherman guy 1, and also another slightly older gentleman, we gave him 2 fish. So we caught 6, or we actually caught 20. We kept 6, and we gave them all away. Other people. It's going to be thrown in nicely by Dan Sheehan. Now Leinster 10 metres out from the line. Now an underutilised aspect that wasn't used too much was actually that Chiefs versus Crusaders game. We hardly saw a rolling maul, whereas both of these sides certainly know a thing or two about rolling as a pack. Now only 5 metres out from the line. Ty Furlong getting that. There's quite a bit of pushing between James Ryan and Flamand, so he wrestles him down. He's got to be careful here not to give away a penalty. for his silliness. But now wide cut out pass, low tackle made on Jimmy O'Brien by the new man who only recently made his way onto the field. Now off to the right, an advantage in favour of Leinster. Now they do have the man advantage for the next 9 minutes of this game. Big run, and Jack Conan scores for Leinster. Just using that body position, keeping low. Always hard to tackle a man when he's looking like a caterpillar just off the turf. And Jack Conan scores the try. Leinster take the lead. And does the tone of the chat always come down to down a few rungs when you turn up? No, I wouldn't say so, Tony. I would say that the chat, when you turn up, always gets to the stage of be on your toes because you never know. You know, it's like if if George is on a live stream, speaking of Jack Conan, just scoring that try. But yeah, if George is on a live stream, you know, we start off PG and then he'll just be talking about the most innocent thing and then drop an F-bomb. And you kind of sit there like, where that one come from? And you worry what he's going to say, you know, but you also, you know, you add character, Tony, you know. How is Malaysia going, by the way? You enjoying it over there? I know it will be very hot. You mentioned that you gained a lot of weight from eating food. At least you'll be, I guess, with it being almost like a sauna, you'll be sweating it all out, won't you? And some nice tanning as well. Nah, brother, all good to sports. I don't know. Enjoy your holiday. And George live streams are unpredictable. Yeah, or just George in general. You never know what the man's going to do. That kick is successful and not seen George in a while now, although I've been MIA for several games. Says Kerr. So we did end up having him on the Hurricanes Brumbies live stream, which, yeah, I think out of that or the Crusaders Chiefs, if you were to go back and watch another one at some stage, I'd say Crusaders Chiefs. We had quite a bit of banter there on that live stream. That was just after fishing. And how's George's drama with the lady of the night going? Loving it over here. Ton of food over here. They'll need to roll me out of the country. Is Tony? He hasn't heard from her, which I guess that's only a good thing, really, isn't it? But yeah, he was talking about the Tinder profile, how he was thinking about getting that fired up, and he said that I should get one at the same time. Although I don't think that's soon. I think that was going to be more down the line a bit further. But I haven't taken a serious photo this year or last year. That's my big problem. Any photo I take, I put a silly face on. So it might work if it was like trying to make friends, but I don't know if it'll work for trying to find a lady. Nice run. Once again, Flemo. Off to the left-hand side. Penalty goes the way of Leinster, though. And penalty about 40 metres out from the Leinster line. Looks like Gibson Park was considering taking that one quickly, but foul play against Francois Cruz. And this is going to be a tricky period because there's still another 5.5 minutes remaining. Do the Tinder thing. I met my first 2 wives on it. Although that's a little bit of a double-edged sword, Tony, because you may have met them, but the first 2 wives on it. Also, it's happening in the game, by the way. Says power bite. Yeah, penalty went the way of Leinster. And they have got the man advantage. Retire Barnes, says Gareth. In France, referee must retire at 45, says Gareth. Is that right? Do they actually have an age that you have to retire at? That looks awkward. But I think Francois Cruz did extremely well. Not give away the penalty, but also still be enough of a disruption on Leinster's side that they weren't able to use that rolling maul. Now, Sheehan goes across to Ryan. Tackled by Horia Moshon. But Leinster with a 6-point lead. Inside ball off to Sheehan. Some great stepping feet from the hooker there. 20 metres from the line. Quick answer from Josh Van Den Flery's on the inside. Oh, Conan's having a field day. He sold the dummy as if he was going on the inside. He went himself down the wing. And Jack Conan is absolutely loving this yellow card that Toulouse have because that is his 2nd try in a row. Also, Crusaders versus Chiefs was a cracking game. Should make the bulk of the AB's forwards. Pick for inclusion, Peter Gus, Jacobson, McWannell, out with Whitelock, Kane, Savia, and Smith. And Toulouse says Zinix in there as well. And double thick says Gareth. Yeah, not quite what Toulouse would have been after. Now they have got, I was tell you what, Gareth has just said it there as well. They have got the ability for a comeback, I feel, but They need to get back to 15 men on the field first because that is certainly hurting them at the moment. And to lose their Xenix again. And morning, Hamish. I just opened my eyes. Oh, Leinster in front, says Spider Meek. So they did. They were down 7 points to 3. But then that yellow card meant that Leinster have just created opportunity after opportunity to break that Toulouse line. Is this the same team who lost to the Wolves last week, says Nate with the big face there. There were a lot of talks about that team. And it was interesting because someone said that it was the B team because Johnny Sexton wasn't playing. But then Johnny Sexton's not playing in this game. So by that theory, I'm sure, I don't think Leinster would, well, this side anyway, would like to be referred to as anything but the main side. It's a great seller, the dummy. Unfortunately, just caught in two minds there at the back for Juan Cruz Malia. No options. And this is the national team in blue. Says Gareth and Francois Cruz is pronounced Crow. I like the bird crow, French pronunciation. I will remember that one. So it's Francois Crow. Okay. I'm sure that I'm listening to the Irish commentator saying Cruz, so maybe that is where the confusion's coming in. It was a Leinster B team. Says Power by. That's the thing. At the end of the day, maybe they were just saving all the gas in the tank for this game. Nicely taken by Antoine Dupont. Nicely done. Oh, in there. In there, nicely worked by Charlie Ngatai. Wins the penalty. Jameson gives it back. Very tempted that time to take it quickly, but once again decides against it. Is George your brother? He is not my biological brother. No. But I'd say we're pretty good friends. He's my brother from a different mother, as the cool kids would say. You feel me? That's what they also say. They're quite gangster. I don't know many cool kids because I'm an adult. I shouldn't do that. Hanging around them, that is. The flop. And who said the Chiefs would choke again? Says Nazi. Yeah, and they probably pretty quiet at the moment, seeing as they did win by 10. I actually said Crusaders we're going to win by 10. And then I said by 5, then I said by 3. I got all excited and I had no idea who was going to take it out. But George was angry at the end of that Chiefs Crusaders live stream. And you guys know exactly how to push his buttons. He quite short-tempered. So everyone who was like, Crusaders are going downhill and everything like that, he was getting fired up. It looked like he was going to strangle someone. And unfortunately, I was the only one in reach. Now Jameson gives him park, goes off to the left-hand side. Gary Ringrose, wide cut-out pass. Jimmy O'Brien might have just scored again for Leinster. This is starting to get a little bit insane with how well they've been able to utilise having one extra man on the field. We've already got a super sticker from Kurt, and it is the one more. It is a hippo coming out of the ground. It seems like you possibly are after another hippo factoid. Possibly there, Kurt, and hippos are waiting. It was interesting. Not to do with the hippos. Oh, okay, that was close to his foot being down, Jimmy O'Brien. We might need to see the other camera angle of that one. They have been able to find it. Or have they? No, this one might not quite be far enough back. Nah, once again, you can't see it. We need that camera. That camera right there. That man should wave his hand and say, oh, I've got it. Yeah, we actually caught a fish today that had a big bite out of the bottom of it. We're not sure whether it was a shark that got it. It wouldn't have been a hippo. I haven't seen too many hippos around my parts. Right, they're going to run through the angles. There's only one angle that they need to see, and that is, there we go. They found it. This is the angle that we need. Oh, yep, no, it's grounded first. That will be a try. Evening, chaps. Good game so far. Quick paced. He might have dropped it, though. Foot is in the air. Then we're looking at step. Oh, now for me, I don't think a fingertip counts as a grounded control. I think it's going to be a knock on, and that will be beneficial for Toulouse. Yeah, that angle the crowd are happy with because we can't see the knock on. Yeah, separations, no try. Our lost control says Gareth, but he can be out because he's still connected. Says the snooze there. We've got another donation from Kerr with try again. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, it just comes through still as super sticker on there. And also more BS cards ruining rugby, is it? No, I'd say that one was justified. It was a deliberate knockdown from Thomas Ramos to stop a running attack from Leinster. So it was kind of one of those ones that it was tricky because if he held on to it, it's fine. But because he didn't hang on to it and there weren't really cover defenders, it meant that it was a yellow card. It just wasn't quite a penalty try because of how far out they were from the line. And it's never a yellow. Ramos can intercept and he remains a defender. I hope one day we play Leinster at home because for years it's been in Dublin. Says French Baguette, I believe that is. And Jeepers, costly yellow, this says Distracted Sports. Okay, we've looked at this 15 times. I've made up my mind of saying it's separated. Are they going to make up? Yeah, unless he's ET and he's got like an extended finger touching the side of that ball, that's going to be no try. Try savers by the Butterfingers. Says, no, he did all the hard work of staying in the field of play. Unfortunately, though, not quite the hard work of hanging on to the ball. No try, says Fleshin, and that will mean that there is still 30 seconds remaining of the Toulouse yellow card. It's felt like an eternity. They have been down to 14 men here, but already 25 minutes through this contest. No try, you blue leprechauns from Gareth. So he's fired up, isn't he? And also we have got there, would they ever make a decision? Yeah, see, that took, I would say, about 10 replays too many. And now that's a try for me. Super slow-mo can suck my ball. I didn't read the whole thing, and sometimes I'm like, what's his face? Off Anchorman. What's his name? I can't think of the main character's name now. I can think of what he looks like. He's played by Will Ferrell. I can't think. That's really going to annoy me now that I can't think of his name. Hippo fun fact. Oh, I love a Hippo fun fact. The second highest cause of deaths for expatriates. I suck at that word. In Africa, after road accidents, deadly hippos. Yeah, hippos are crazy. Ron Burgundy, that's the one. I don't know where my mind was going. I kept on thinking. Yeah, I was thinking Tom, but it's Ron. Ron Burgundy. And Don Gurgundy. Also, it's a late night stream in the Kiwi Lad. It's fine. See, Sebastian. Oh, stolen by Dan Sheehan. Taking it from the Toulouse side, and it's another try. Although, no, Toulouse, they are saying that maybe there was a knock-on in the process. Oh, no, Jamison gives him back. Don't you fire him up. I could see him going over to try and give him a handshake and annoy him. Right. That might be another try, ladies and gentlemen. They are on fire at the moment. Kerr. Prediction, though, for the upcoming game for Glasgow. Do let me know. Who are they playing? They're playing the Scarlets, aren't they? And what a cock-up. Yeah, that was very poor from Toulouse. And an error that we don't expect to see. It just hits Jack Willis, pings off him, and then flies up the field, Dan Sheehan. He's got great acceleration. And the Maroons, the Morons. Sorry, I'm used to the NRL. The Maroons are the morons who thought this game would be close. Leinster our match this season, says Mac. Yeah. Although it's tricky, isn't it? Because you would have to say that Toulouse have not quite played the way that a lot of people anticipated that they would. That's not taking anything away from Leinster. They have been absolutely phenomenal. Kerr, calm down. You just done. Do you realise you just done the 20 pound? I like how at this stage, like a majority of my weekly income comes from the cruise ship business, but it is hugely appreciated each and every week that you pop in. Even just seeing you here, like minus the donation side of things, it's great to have you back because we did miss you the last couple live streams and the banter you bring. That's sneaking over, and it's going to now make the score 27 points to 7 now. No, mate, the TV with these passes are going to listen and hammy. And that was piss poor from Ramos, the last-ditch effort. Loving the donations. Is Distracted Sports in there as well. Yeah, what was that from Ramos? I think he realized that he was going to be pretty much done for. So he just went, meh. But at least make it look like you're trying to tackle him. If you want revenge, Ron Burgundy always reads whatever is written on the teleprompter or whatever is written there, says Power Bite. Yeah, I'm the same. I always read it and then end up realizing what I've said afterwards. Leinster running away with it. Early start to the match for them. Very good so far, scoring a point a minute, but Toulouse still have time. And they get back into it, I wonder. And also we have got there, do you believe it, in a deliberate knock on, Hammy? The guy reaches out for the intercept, but couldn't really hold on, I don't agree with the rule that if they get two hands to it compared to one, that should be a deciding factor, because sometimes, you look at some of the best one-handed pickups in the game, and there's plenty of them. So to say that because he's got one hand to it means that he's not trying to catch the ball seems weird to me. Pito Malvaka. Some of them, when they only get I think it should be if you get only your fingertips to it or something like that, it should be a little bit more of the mitigating factor. Now Dupont going off to the right-hand side. Intermac goes for the kick in behind, but I don't think Juan Cruz Melia realised that he was supposed to be going back. Nicely claimed by Hugo Keenan. Now just out from the line. And good night, viewers. And if you, San Diego. Those movies, they're a mixed review type thing, aren't they? Some people love them, some people hate them. I enjoyed them. I've got that kind of sense of humour that I like a bit of silliness. Incredible speed for a hooker, says Karma Pitch. Alpieto Malvaka. Speaking of speed, this man also does possess a bit of power thrown in there as well. Now off to the right-hand side, Jack Willis ends up with the ball this time. It doesn't hit him on the shoulder. And wrestled down nicely by Leinster again. And I've noticed here, with the injury in the back line, it actually means that Dupont has slotted in more as a 10 option alongside Intermac. He's actually playing away from half quite a bit. The number 22 and going in there a little bit more. Speed and hooker in one sentence, says Nazi Williams. And it just bothered me. All the French fans barking up saying Toulouse going to show up and beat Leinster. Just can't stand cocky French fans. Says Mac and Johnny Sexton. Says Jean Paulo. He's missing from this game. Alien, how dare you, good sir? The phone never lies, says Kerr. And also, well, Hippo needs a wake-up pinch. And yeah, I'm surprised there's so many. Can I just say, how are there so many Hippo emojis, or super sticker options? It's as if it was meant to be, isn't it? We got another donation. Come on, team. Get in behind at the donation drive. Says Australia Sports. Thank you very much. But you're on holiday, Tony. Be sure not to spend all your spending money on us. And also another super sticker, and it's a curve face. How do you do the flat face? You kind of got to, like that face in there. It's come through as red, though. It looks a bit flash in there as well. But thank you very much, Kerr, once again. I feel like these late night live streams, you guys are just way too generous. There's a huddle here for Leinster. They're looking fired up. Hugo Keenan leading it. I'm afraid Hammy, Richie Moong faded. He's not a big stage player. But then the question is Damien McKenzie? And the answer also at the moment, some would say, maybe not. He got a lot better as that match went on, though. That was the big thing. Other playing two halfbacks, they are, due to the injury that they did have in their midfield. Unfortunately, it did mean that Pierre-Louis Barassi was not going to be able to continue. Instead, they had to make that change. And if those have long 2-inch wide teeth, puncture, 2 inches is quite big, isn't it? Well, in some departments. What's that? That's like, is that 2 inches? That-ish? So that's a tooth, right? Now, I always thought of my teeth gap being quite large, but that's another level. That's like both of my main teeth and then the two next to it as well. That's a big tooth. No wonder they do end up causing so much damage to people. And also, Sheehan would be the starting lines too, if they played right now. He's almost, to be honest, he's the leading option well and truly. The way he's been playing, last time I believe it was Ken Owens, wasn't it, that they were going with? I'm not wrong. That is going to be a penalty in favour of Leinster. Only with that 20-point lead, or as some would look at it, 3 converted tries ahead of their opposition. That's what she said, says Maurice. And there as well. Yeah, please. Luckily, we haven't got Junaid, so he didn't get the screenshot of me going like this, because that's a lot of meme quality right there in terms of you could do anything with that, couldn't you? Now Hugo Keenan kicks it into touch. And, I hate watching scrums go down. I know that they're a part of the game, but I hate watching the necks of the players. There's no wonder that all of these props have real short necks. And it's not just because of the muscle. It's just because they have to have it right in, which could caption the stickers. That would be dangerous, wouldn't it? You can probably see why they don't allow that, but then it also would be quite cool to be able to have a random hippo fact It ends up going up. And ours aimbot's betting against his little brother for 200 and wins 400. Says Blues. No, I feel bad for the little brother, though, because I feel like he probably got talked into it, even though he said it was his idea. He's still young. He'll learn. Gary Ringrose. Now nice steps. Little Bay takes him down again. Currently 32 metres out. Puncture wounds. That's what she said. Says power bite. And Irish. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? That's going to be kicked in behind. Rolling forward, Leinster with Ross Byrne just fires it across. Jameson gives them park. They will go back for the original advantage in favour of Toulouse. That's why I stayed out of the front row, says Maurice. Rose looking fired up. And he's angry. He just swore. And I think the Northern Hemisphere have the best chance to get the second World Cup. South Africans have 9 injured players. The ABs haven't looked like world beaters since 2015. They also have probably around that same 9. So I think the All Blacks at the moment have lost about 6 props. Something along those lines. I've lost Ta'aval, Bauer, and 4 more. I can't think of no one else. There is a list, though, that off the top of my head I can't think of. Some of them might be back in time, though, so that would be good news for the ABs. Come on, Mifu. Do a skeleton to Leinster. And I'm so glad to see Khaleesi is injured. I'm not going to hide it, says Bow Bite. Is it just me, or does Wayne Barnes look like live-action Tintin? I mean, it's one of those ones that once you see it, you can't unsee it, isn't it? I've always said this, though, about Wayne Barnes. Like, it's been like 10 years, and he looks the same. Like, the only thing that's slightly changed is the patch on the top of his head. Other than that, though, he still looks the same guy. But I can see where the Tintin resemblance comes in. We've got another donation from Kerr. This time, it is of a unicorn. I was going to say, are there any unicorn facts? But I feel like straight away someone would be like, well, unicorn fact, they're not real. That's a bit rough, isn't it? Now off to the right-hand side, Dupont goes down to Max. Short ball now to Peter Aki. That's got the first and only try for Toulouse. Another penalty goes against the Leinster boys, though. Another quick tap taken. We've actually seen a couple of those looking to set up throughout this match. That was a bit too high. Another advantage now that is against Charlie Ngatai for going around the neck. Now big run from Jack Willis. Fantastic player that almost looked like a knock-on the ground. Reaches out. That will be the try. Who is that? It's going to be the number 5 who manages to get himself the try. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is Miafu who did end up scoring. And also, we have got their very nice tasty. And Leinster lying all over the breakdown. Unicorn national animal of Scotland. That's why it's on the UK passport. There you go. Oh, they just want to check the ground. Yeah, no, that is how you ground a ball. Now slams down. And hi, you guys. When are the Storms playing and the Sharks, says Paul. So the next game, that'll be in the URC quarterfinal. And that game, it is next weekend. And it is 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, New Zealand time. So I believe that'll be about a 2:30 p.m. kickoff on Saturday afternoon. Somewhere around there. But yeah, Saturday afternoon, that's when they're going to be playing next week. And then followed straight away by Leinster versus the Sharks. So that is at 4 a.m. New Zealand time, which I believe is 5 p.m. South African time, hopefully. That's close to being correct. And the snooze, as said, try. Should also mention once again, thank you very much, Kurt, for your generosity. I didn't know there were animal emote. Like, I knew of the hippo. I didn't realize they just had all pictures you could use. Randomly, but I will mention that all of your money is going straight back into the channel. We've got a big video coming up very soon. It's going to take a long time to film, and it's going to take a large budget, which is why I've been saving up for the last little while, because for this video to happen, she's going to be a long thought out one, and it's going to be fun. Hopefully, it's also going to suck at the same time. That kind of sounds like I'm going to buy a prostitute. I'm not going to do that. I promise that George will not get his hands on that money to be able to spend it on that. Now, the font, nice step. Oh, the things that we say at 3 a.m., eh? Jack Willis looking for the offload. Great hands from Toulouse, who are currently now 2 converted tries back, I should say. And George of the Unicorn says, Kerr, And also we have got there, bloody hell it is. There's Fletcher now. Does manage to get the kick back in field. Leinster have still got this one just inside of their 22. Boot him back. Returning the kick into the hands of Toulouse. Looks like Thomas Ramos a little bit caught in two minds. Ball high now, only 10 metres or so it went. And Jimmy O'Brien able to clean it up. That is one thing that they cannot afford to do here, Toulouse. You can't do aimless kicking because then Leinster, if they start finding their momentum, you lose all those metres that you kicked. Leinster. Now, this time they go to Charlie Ngatai, kicks it over the top. It's a 50-22 for Leinster. And come on, stat Toulousian. If I said that correctly. I say it really wrong, though, I think. Unicorns all over Scotland. We just hide them from foreigners. Strategic. That's the thing, though. If a unicorn did get easily scouted and people knew whereabouts it was, I feel like the first thing people would do is they'd want the horn, wouldn't they? So it's probably fair enough keeping them hidden, just in case. Meters made at the moment. We're seeing 220 from Leinster compared to Toulouse, having 167. Now Dan Sheehan. On the ball in. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Ross Maloney taking it nicely. Josh Van den Fleur trying to break off the back. Tackled by Crow. Now goes to James Ryan. Leinster score right now. You'd say that it would give them a very handy lead, but would it be enough in this matchup? Toulouse still certainly have got the ability to be able to fire back. Charlie Ngatai. Very nicely. They've mentioned that it's been 113 days. And also, I like Dad, Toulouse son. And they want the horn from the unicorn or with the unicorn. They're not the same. True. You got to make sure you word it well, don't we? I'd love to hear someone from Scotland say unicorn, though. I feel like it would sound really cool. That's a penalty to Toulouse. They'll be very happy to hear that whistle at this point. And also, hi, says Amelia. Welcome, and Amelia. Hope you are keeping well. Hope you enjoyed that Rebels win over Moana Pacifica, 43 points to 33. That's something that I've noticed recently. Moana Pacifica are a side that no matter how many times they lose, they still manage to get a lot of points in the process. It's just they aren't quite getting on the right side of the results. That one has not found touch from Toulouse. It's the kind of mistake that you can't be making in a game. A part of a semi-final. Big run there from Jimmy O'Brien. In fact, it's Hugo Keenan, my apologies. That'll run that one all the way back. I don't understand how mythical creatures is your national creature, says a Welshman, says Fleshin. Because do Scotland also have the Loch Ness Monster? Is that where that's from? I think that's Scottish, isn't it? Now going off to the left, Porter. Grubber kicked him behind, just drifts into Dutch. And Leinster says Oscar. And also in Scotland, they say, you near corn, isn't it? Aye. And it was a very good win. Here's Amelia. Right, 10 seconds remaining. Dragons are real, and I won't hear another word about it. Like Komodo dragons or like the big ones from Shrek? 20 metres. For Toulouse, all they need to do, get this one in. Yep, Nessie is from Scotland. Says Maurice. Kito Mawaka now, about to throw the ball into the line out. Goes in. Slap back onto the side of Toulouse. It looks like they don't want to kick this one into touch, and it's caught Leinster out. They did not expect for an attack to be coming from this Toulouse side to pop in support. Now they are only 45 metres out from the Leinster line. Brilliant attack and run from Flamont. It's a knock on, though. Massive shot coming in on Gary Ringrose by Intermac. And now Leinster, they have got the opportunity. Oh, it's a double knock on. So we will be going into halftime now. So is the Lady Dragon from Shrek Welsh? Maybe. What twist? Where's Donkey from? Donkey was American, wasn't he? But then Shrek was Scottish. Shrek, there's a lot of questions to be asked. Kerr's gone a bit mad. That's a £50 super sticker, Kerr. That's that's a large number. In a single one, and it's a hippo doing a gaming chair. How is there an emoji of a hippo doing a gaming chair transformer flip? Like, who came up with that one? whoever it is, they're obviously a genius in our marketing department. Thank you very much, Kurt. That's a big number. And she must be because she likes donkeys. There's Grant. And also the hippo should be the mascot for the Kiwi lads. I feel like it's slowly becoming more and more of our emoji or our mascot, isn't it? If we ever get a shirt, we have to get a hippo on it. Then we have to find a way of doing it so that it's a newly designed hippo. Wayne Barnes is a sub seller. And also, how are we rating the ref performance? I mean, there were some calls. Wayne Barnes does like to be a bit excessive at times. I know that a lot of people weren't happy with that yellow card, and it did actually give Leinster big time momentum. But I'd say it was prominent, but not too bad. I guess overall, like the TMO had to do quite a bit. Also, a little bit earlier on, we do have what's the national animal of Ireland? A miserable fish. Brutal. I caught a few fish yesterday. Fun fact, and I take full credit for making the hippo the Kiwi Lads mascot, says Grant. You have to be on a commission basis, won't you, Grant? How did it come about? So we ended up Googling hippos running, didn't we, at one point? But what was the very first message that put the hippos on the map? Barnes needs to retire, says Fleshin. And also the unicorn. It's got nothing on hippopotamus. Prime. Says the snooze. I just wish it would show up on the screen. That's the only sad thing about it. Because, like, this does not, well, this is an impressive thing, right? But the hippo doing the flip is a very, very impressive thing. Go to Iceland and become an official elk hunter. I don't think I could kill an elk. I struggled to kill a fish. Like, I apologized to a fish while I had to put it down. You know, I was saying sorry, yeah, I know this is gonna hurt. Sorry. I was kind of like from the in-betweeners with Simon when he was in the car. And he called the fellas the bus masturbators in a nice way of putting it. February 15th. Oh, we've missed it. We've missed World Hippo Day. That's a shame. We're gonna have to add a new one. We're gonna have to have a Kiwi Lads annual Hippo Day where we play Hungry Hungry Hippos for 24 hours. That would suck. That was a story I brought up about the dude in Auckland Zoo last week. Jumped into their area and had a swim in their water. It was, wasn't it? And hippos have a very weak eyesight, which makes them more dangerous as they get spooked easily, says Power Bite. And the Hippo Lads now streaming soon, says Blues Nate. And also, holy sweet, sweet, a vagina. What a donation by Kerr Legend, says Distracted Sports. He is indeed. I don't think I've ever heard someone describe, like, in terms of I don't know how to transit. You're very good at putting me in spots, aren't you, Tony, of not knowing where to go next. Hippos will chase at light. You can count on them in the dark, throw your torch one way, run the opposite. Well, there you go. Don't have a headlamp on when there's a hippo in the area. Or else then they might be like, oh, dinner. Yeah, they're weird things. Yeah, one of the fish that I saw today after we caught it had like a chunk out of its bottom where it had been bitten by something bigger. I think it had been slightly eaten by a shark, which is a bit weird. Well, not weird, but just worrying. So I'll take credit for the hippos humbly, says Nuzzy Williams in there as well. But yeah, the first half, high scoring one, 27 points to 14. It certainly doesn't lack points the first 40 minutes of this contest. I'm looking forward to seeing the second 40. It absolutely flew by. Any early points on the board for Toulouse will be absolutely massive, seeing as they are down by the 13. They have got the ability to get back into this contest. They've proven it time and time again, even when they're down. They have got the ability to fight back. But the big thing is they need to make sure that they don't get a little bit too overly aggressive. If they start going too hard at it, it may end up creating opportunities for Leinster to have a bit of a counter. Have you ever caught a hairy potato tramp fish? No, I can't say that I have. Cocaine hippos in Colombia, says Gareth. Yeah, I don't think I've never caught a hairy potato tramp fish. I've caught a fish in general. Like, we had a good bank of the fishies all along the shore. And, like, yeah, they were lovely fish. We gave them all away. It felt like the right thing to do, just because, like, at the end of the day, like, fishing, I don't know whether or not it's oh, I almost swore there. Kerr has just done it again. Now, it's hard to tell the difference when I go like this, right? So what I'm going to do to make it seem different is I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to go like that. Then put it up. Is it another hippo? It's a hippo in a chest, and it's doing fist bumps like that. Or is it doing, oh, it's doing the making it rain with some cheddar, or not cheddar, with some coins. And then definitely love the Transformer hippo. The best. Yeah, the Transformer, you've broken me, Kerr. The transforming hippo, like the fact that he was on a gaming chair as well was just incredible. I don't know what to say now. My brain's gone broken. And Kerr, that's very generous, mate, says Sebastian. It is. He was very generous when he donated the 5 at the start and then donated 5 straight after that. It was the back-to-back bonfires. I got what there's another 50 quid. It is another 50 quid, yeah. I have a question. Is quid and pound the same thing? It is, isn't it? It's just depending on where you're from. Because I know that some people are like, oh, give us £50 or give us 50 quid. Although quid has changed. Is quid coins? If you give it in coins, is that quid? I don't know my currencies very well. I got some lovely shellfish on the island where I'm staying in Norway, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. You see, these fish are crazy at the moment. Like, it's, you throw it in. It was quite funny. My first cast, I was like, hey, Daniel. So when we were here the other night, straight out there, just here where I throw it here. And then I was like, imagine if I hook a fish first cast. Oh, we got one. Quid is just slang. Okay. So it's the same thing. What's the next one down? Pence. Is it pence? Maybe. Pound. Pence. Cent. They don't have cents over there, do they? No, like as in like the S. No, the CENTS. And that's fine. Oh, this fine gentleman puts a lot of effort into this. Well deserved, in my opinion. Like and subscribe, says Kerr, and it is hugely appreciated, mate. And yeah, like I mentioned, it's going into that video. Hopefully it turns out, that's the thing. I have a video in mind and I want it to go extremely well. I need to make sure that I get plenty of camera shots and everything like that. Tony may even have to help with the production of the video just to make it as good as it can be. Shillings. And pence is right. And a halfpenny. I know that Wales have got a halfpenny. But I'm here all day, normally, no matter the hour. I think I'd be terrible at stand-up comedy. Like, it's one of those ones that when you're on the field, or not on the field, when you're on the stage, I feel like if you've got pre-written material, you're fine. But then on the spot, I think I go a lot better. But then that would be reliant on the crowd. At least no guitar, says Gareth. That is true. Pressure is on for this video now. Yeah, it's going to have to be a good one, isn't it? I will mention that it does require a lot of filming over quite a gapped period of time. So even if it seems like the video isn't getting done, it probably is. It's just we've got to get a whole heap of different shots and everything for said video. So it's a bit of a secret, but should be good, hopefully. Currently halftime in this matchup, and it's been a hectic halftime. We talked a little bit about hippos. We've seen them flipping on chairs. We've seen them jumping out of treasure chests. I don't even know what options. Can I see the options in my... How do you find the hippo section? Oh, they have a hippo section. They have like different levels. So they got the hippo in the chest. A young hippopotamus called Popo left the waters of his home only to submerge into a different kind of stream, is what they've got as the description of said hippo. So they got him in the chest and they got him in the chair. Then they've also got him, oh, he turns his hat to gangster at one stage. That's a bit scary. And also they have epic fail, victory, OP. Do they have that for all different? Oh, yeah. Okay. So they have 2 big ones of all of their different emoji types. So there's like a lemon, an energetic lemon. There's a foam finger, I think. No, there's not. That goes to $2. There's fruit and stuff. There's faces. There's yeah. I didn't know that was much of a thing. And I'll say how many burpees. Oh yeah, now with today's donation, that would be a lot of burpees. Yeah, like a huge amount of burpees. like a really big, like a really big amount. And then by running across your screen for every donation. That would be a great thing, wouldn't it? If they had some sort of thing that we could add. I mean, I don't have a hippo. I have a little cat emoji of Billy. I got a Junaid meme. Oh, I didn't realize that's what I was. I just clicked because it was Tom and it was an animal. I didn't realize it was one about Tony. we reacted, me and Tony, to our memes. And hi, bud. I think we're in for a tight second half. Who do you think is going to win here? I'm back in Toulouse, says Jensen. Also, you're saying the comeback could be on. I think the gap's going to close between the two sides in terms of points. I think Leinster are still narrowly going to take it though, just because their home field advantage seems to be working for them quite well here, and also just the way they were able to get back into, or they found that rhythm straight away when that yellow card came for Toulouse, and I feel like that put Toulouse behind just that little bit more. But I think they're going to get back into it a little bit. Yeah, there's like a whole heap of different. That's the thing. I do YouTube. I have no idea how half this stuff works. Like, my brain doesn't have YouTube knowledge to a certain extent. So I just click go live and we're here, and then also do all the behind the scenes stuff. I have Billy riding the hippo. Yeah, that would be a cool emoji, wouldn't it? Or a cool little image that pops up. Oh, I'd love to be able to learn how to do that. Have like a hippo with wings fly across the top of the screen or across the bottom on a boat, something like that. And also, I wonder what's going to happen with Toulouse after halftime. They might get stronger. Yeah, I think first 10 minutes of the second half, we're going to see Toulouse really come out firing. Hi, lad, says Jan LeBrand. Welcome in, mate. You are doing very well. Great meme form, says Distracted Sports. Yeah, he's been flying up. Just there's plenty more Distracted Sports as well. So next time you are available, after you get back from Malaysia, we're going to have another meme session. Me, you, and Tony. You're Tony. Me, you, and Mark. And I wish I went to the game because it's sunny there. Yeah, it's a beautiful day for them at the moment. Good afternoon, Nate. There's Jan Lou there. They're talking about UFC on Sky. Speaking of that, who's fighting? I think it's Song Yadong versus Ricky Simone. That's going to be a banger of a fight. Who else have we got on that card? Julian Rosa, he's going to be fighting Cortez Acosta, 9-0. Right, the team's making their way back out onto the field. We are ready to go for the second half. I don't think it will be as high scoring as the first half, but I think it will still probably have about 4 tries scored between the two sides, which is pretty impressive because, to be honest, at times I thought in my head a couple of days ago, I was like, it might be a bit of a kicking battle. But we've hardly seen that, mainly because both sides have been willing to go for that attacking opportunity. Who are they? I'm trying to recognize them, but they keep on like blasting the stuff. And going to give the wife a call back soon. Okay, well, be sure to not tell her that you have thrown many dollars or many pounds at me, Kerr. Although saying that, you did mention that she did get a handbag and whatnot, which I'm sure would have been a hefty fee for that one. Yeah, hopefully she's doing. Is she still on the cruise with you? Well, if she was, you wouldn't ring her. Never mind. I take that statement back. If I have red ball wings, Billy are flying in styles, the money drops, says Nate. Yeah, that would be cool. Have a hippo flying a plane, have it with a sack with a dollar sign on it, comes across, drops, and then it goes boom, and then it has like the donation pop up at the bottom. If there's any way of doing that, I'm going to have to get in contact with my streaming software and see whether or not that is a thing that they're looking at in the future. And now, nicely kicked off by Rossburn deep into the 22. And we're back underway, ladies and gentlemen. Mia Fu, first carry of the half. The biggest player on the field in perfect Danish. Says Nate, will you do the Curry Cup between the Western Province and the Bulls today? Not today, sadly. I always hate missing games. Oh, there's a bit of a mistake from Dupont. Now nicely taken by Hugo Keenan. But yeah, that game, it's just a little bit too late or too early in the morning New Zealand time with the start that we have got tomorrow, which is being up relatively early. Kurt is slashing or stashing his money in the channel to keep it away from his wife. Tell you what, it's pretty strategic if that is what the plan is. He's a thinking man, isn't he, old Kerr? Jameson Gibson Park just having a knock on there, I believe in fact, no, it would be a penalty to Leinster for playing the ball on the ground. Never mind, forget that last part, it's just a knock on. Jameson Gibson Park is asking, how can it be a knock on when it's gone backwards, then hit my leg and bounce forward? Which he's got a very good point. But it's going to be the Toulouse scrum. 41 minutes through. So still plenty of time left on the clock. 2 converted tries. See whether or not it is possible. Should mention they are actually playing with 2 halfbacks on the field as well, Toulouse, which is something that they certainly wouldn't have wanted early on. Keep high. Keep high. Keep high is what Wayne Barnes is chanting. Ball available now for Toulouse at the back. Going to the left-hand side. Beautifully done by Antoine Dupont. Now short ball. Ramos. Ball on the outside to Thomas Lebel. Off to the right. Toulouse have to make sure that they have a majority of the possession in the early stages of this half. They can't afford to let Leinster start with a couple more line breaks. Now a nice step. Although shut down early, Thomas Ramos. I don't know why he was at the breakdown. He should be out on that back line. Waiting for the next chance to have a run. Now Meafu thought about the offload. I think that was a knock on the ground, but it is going to be play on just for now. Dupont goes across to Intermac. 19 combo, I would say, for the World Cup that the French will be using. Dupont now, nice ball on the outside to Peter Aki. Thought about the pass. Oh, he's been stripped. The ball has come free. I believe it came off Leinster, but it will be a knock-on option. Being ripped. So it isn't a knock-on. So I believe that will actually be Toulouse's line-out. Mifu needs to dominate, says Gareth. Yeah, they've said that was a clean strip. And that, yeah, just went into touch, unfortunately. So Toulouse now have another great chance. They need to make the most of it. Oh, here's a question, ladies and gentlemen. We normally do this on Super Rugby live stream, so we'll do it on this one as well. Next try scorer, the exact name. Who's it going to be? I'm going with Matthias Lebel. And Viv's Lestat. Frez says knowledge. Yeah, nicely taken by Crow Malvaka. He's probably a decent shout as well, to be fair, if they do end up scoring. The next try of the contest now. Nice shot on Intermac, driven backwards by Gary Ringrose. Now Raul goes across to Sirubai. Just tied up in the midfield at the moment here for Toulouse. Not making a huge amount of meters, but still trying to tire down this Leinster defence. Ball's popped out. Almost available. It has gone backwards. That breakdown's hard to read. I believe Ross Maloney's in the wrong place, but he was just out of the way enough not to give away the not rolling away penalty. Okay, now they've given away not rolling away penalty. That is against Tyke Furlong this time. And Malia for the next try. Dupont. And if Leinster now, it's going to be a good run from Ramos. 10 metres out. All thought about the offload option over the top for Toulouse. I don't know how many phases they're up to now, but it is more than 7 at a guess. I'd say it's probably about 8 or 9. Now Jameson Gibson Park gets over the ball. They would have won the turnover. Then Tyke Furlong, I feel bad for the man. He was celebrating because Gibson Park won the penalty. So he had his hands up, and then he realised that he was the player who got penalised and that they went back, and then he kind of went and then just ran back to the line. What's Tyke up to, says Gareth. He was celebrating there up until went wrong. Hope Cheselin to score the try. Ooh, don't want to break the news, but Cheselin's been gone for a long time. Unfortunately, her handbag was 3,500 New Zealand dollars. She can't say, but my support of the Kiwi lads. How does a handbag get to that stage? Like, I guess it's just whoever's the branding, isn't it? on it. But yeah, that is a large total for anything really. I like how on the other live stream when I was like to my mum, if you had $10,000 on a cruise ship and they had all the shops you wanted, what would you get? And all she could say was an iPad. She couldn't think of anything else. I feel like that's going to be a present for her at some stage in the future. Shh, don't tell her. But I bought her an air fryer the other day. I don't know when Mother's Day is. I think it's soon. So I ended up just buying her one of those double basketed air fryers so that she can, yeah, because she doesn't really like the air fryer we had. So double basket one means that she can cook something, I can cook something, we can all cook something in the different compartments. Oh, it's dropped ball again. Was it knocked on? They say it went backwards. Now big shot coming in from Andrew Porter. Counter-attacking opportunity now for the Leinster boys. They are still inside of their own 22. Jordan Lama rests it down. Nope. Rather watch Hamish's beautiful face, says Gareth in there. And aren't you watching the match? There's knowledge. And also we have got there Bullbags McGee off the bench. Oh, someone's not happy. Going back for the knock-on initially, so Leinster will end up with the penalty. Bullbags McGee would be a very unfortunate name for someone, wouldn't it? Very much so. Okay, Jordan Lama was actually the man who was getting yelled at, and that was by one of his teammates. I'm going number 9 for Toulouse, sorry. No, I speak French. Oh. And I'm just getting Mumsy her favourite type of chocolate, says Knowledge. It's a good way of doing it. I'm going to have to look up when Mother's Day is in New Zealand, though, just to make sure. Mother's Day in New Zealand. On the 14th of May. Okay, so I was a little bit early. But, yeah, she was talking about it. So I was like, when we went to Timaru, it was me, George, and Daniel. I just snuck in and bought one. But then I also took her out for lunch or not yesterday, the day before. In fact, no, it might have been yesterday. Yeah, it was Friday. Took her out for lunch at the bakery, so she's getting spoiled at the moment, but that's all right. She does deserve it. She is honorary Kiwi Lads member. She's done a lot of filming for us in the past, a lot of live streams on the channel as well. That ball stayed in the field of play. Awkward bouncing one. Ramos picks it up nicely. Now Juan Cruz Malia steps. Good low tackle made by Jameson Gibson Park. For $3,500, I could pay someone to walk around behind her holding her phone and lipstick. True. Oh, Wayne Barnes is speaking French. I'm trying to think of what the most expensive clothing item I've bought is, or like accessory. Maybe like $100 pair of shoes? Maybe? Might be the most. Or probably actually when we had the ball at school in the tuxedo. And I've actually worn it on a few live streams ever since then as well. I see what you did there. Did you see your comment? Or did he see your comment? Says knowledge in there as well. And also, right, I'm off down to the pub to watch the Scarlets in a real semi-final. See you all later. People says flashing and off topic. Hamish, can you understand French? Nope. Not at all. I know like 2 words of French, but any further than that, it's always been a language that I've been curious to maybe learn a bit of. I think my problem is I can't decide whether I want to learn French, Spanish. They're probably the main 2. But I know a little bit of Spanish. So I guess they should probably, the French side's the other thing. I still think there should be a Kiwi Lads PO box. So a Glasgow top of the Kiwi Lads on the back and make its way down to New Zealand, says Kerr. That would be actually quite cool. Then I'd have no excuse not to do a live stream, wouldn't I? Well, that's the case. Although I have been sent kits before. It's just one of those ones that normally it's through like the private messaging such as Discord or something when I end up giving out the address and whatnot. So that can be arranged. But then like I always say, it's like if you don't want to send it, it's all good. You don't have to send anything over. We are happy enough as is. Although rocking a Glasgow top while watching a Glasgow game. Although the thing is shipping, isn't it? I feel like by the time it gets here, they'll have to win their quarterfinal or else they'll miss out on the chance of having it on a stream. And what about the diamond-studded butt plug you were telling me about? Says Distracted Sports. Diamond-studded. That's a bit fancy, isn't it? I watched a podcast today of Mutton Nonu, who said saying he disappointed, didn't learn the French language, was playing for Toulon. Just saying. That's a little bit more surprising that he didn't learn a bit more French, seeing as he was playing there for so long. Was he playing there for too long? Who knows? Yeah, no, sorry, terrible puns. That was definitely a 3:15 a.m. joke. And La Rochelle has more strike power than Toulouse, says Gareth, and they are going to be playing tomorrow up against the Exeter Chiefs. We will be covering that game as well, ladies and gentlemen. 2 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow night. So at this exact time, we will be live. Everyone who is new, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. We get to see some of you guys here. That's the thing. A lot of you guys are actually Northern Hemisphere fellows, other than Nazi, Distracted Sports. Who else is Southern Hemisphere? Knowledge, I believe, is South African. Gareth, South African. I think they're the main ones. Jan a little bit earlier on. Nate is still here as well. Kerr, what do you identify as in terms of where you are, Kerr? Because where's your house? I'm trying to remember. I don't think you've ever. Oh, have you told us where you live? In terms of country-wise, I feel like we've always known you as the guy on the cruise ship, unless you live in, was it No, it wasn't Thailand, was it? It might be Thailand. You were in Phuket not too long ago. I think that was the first location we heard you were at. No, that makes sense. I'm an idiot. Although I guess you could still support Glasgow if you were on the road, but yeah, sorry about that one, Kerr. My brain did not work. Where's your house, you comedian? Says Loose Nate. And not even going to start on the wife's toy collection. Handbag's not a patch on her spending habit there. Nice. Now, Thomas Ramos. You could be my wingman, Kerr. If I'm like, hey, I know a guy who has a cruise ship, I feel like all the ladies will want to be my best friend. Although that's probably not the best pickup line, is my mate has a cruise ship. I have to say, can I give you like 5 cents and then I have shares in your cruise ship? Because that would look good on a CV. First time I came on, I'm sure I was in Australia, Brisbane, says Kerr there. Yeah, so you get around, don't you? I really do think if you had a map that you scratch off where you've been, it would look absolutely awesome. Like, I feel like you would cross off a lot of places. George might get jelly, says Nazi Williams. He might do, yeah. Someone down underneath the blankets, Nazi Williams. Says no, Dan Sheehan now with the line-out throw. This game's got very even, though, in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Both sides seesawing, but no one really going anywhere. It's all happening around the halfway line. Jamison gives a park. Wow, that's gone straight up, but that is because it's been partially touched. Nicely taken there. Brilliantly picked up by Jack Willis. Also the Hee Blues. There's Nazi Williams now off to the right-hand side. Going to be kicked in behind. Oh, brilliantly controlled at the back by Leinster's fullback, Hugo Keenan. And he kicks it into touch down towards the halfway line. Good clearing kick. Moment the territory game is just what we are seeing, going back and forth. Something's going to budge soon, though. And the question is it going to be the Leinster defence or is it going to be the Toulouse defence? Oh, okay. Charlie Ngatai being taken off the field. It's also raining now for this game, I should mention. It was sunny before. What happened? That's absolutely bucketing down. It was dry as at halftime. No rain at all. And now it's pouring. I guess that's the Irish weather, isn't it? Now off to the left. Nice attack and run from Peter Aki. So yeah, they brought Frawley on, maybe just to build Ngatai back into it. It's a big game to bring him in, though, for. Now Dupont. Off again. Oh, that was an awkward landing of a tackle. Leinster knock on from Tyke Furlong. That's Ireland and Scotland. 4 seasons in 1 day. Says Kerr there. I wonder whether or not by the end of the game it is going to once again be maybe sunny. It would be quite nice. Today and also yesterday, we've had a huge amount of fog around these parts. Like there was one part when we were coming back from fishing, you couldn't actually see more than maybe about 5 meters in front with the lights on full, which was not very good. But we got home, which is ideal. And yeah, bruv, I'm an immigrant from the Netherlands. We moved to South Africa because my dad received a job here. I'm half Costa, half Afrikaner. There's knowledge and hailstones before the final whistle. Yeah, the wind will pick up soon. It kind of looks brighter now, though. So it's as if that was the rain, and now, yeah, I'm not seeing as much rain. So, oh no, there it is again. It started up. It stopped for a second. It was like, hang on, have we rained enough? Nah, stick some more down there while we're at it. James and Gibson Park going to be feeding this ball in for the scrum. Leinster still inside of their own territory. Big push there. Oh, Gibson Park almost fumbled. I've been told to use a penalty, goes the way of Toulouse. Right, they're 13 points down. They can't really afford to do anything but kick for the corner at this point of the match. And what about the head roll? Where's TMO? Says Gareth there. Although that one was probably, I see that was from a minute ago, so that might have been a little bit earlier, was it? Jack Conan looks like he's in a bit of distress. He's already scored himself 2 tries throughout this game. He's been on fire. I thought your hips came out and he went through you, was the comment from Wayne Barnes. Oh, yeah, both front rows popping up. I think it was Dan Sheehan, actually, whose head did go up first. Now Toulouse, I'll be looking for the corner. If they can get within the 10 meters, I'll be pretty happy to take to the corner, boys. I need a 7-pointer, says Blues Nate. In there as well. We've got another, we got the diamond from Kerr. There you go. £1.49. Got it. Or shilling. Shilling was the other one, wasn't it? I've taken the 3. Why? Why did they take, I guess, first points of the second half, yes, but they're still down by 10. Okay. They've gone with the kick for the post. They get the 3 points. Nice job. But you wonder whether or not that was the right decision. It is a diamond, isn't it? That's a shiny diamond, Kerr. Once again, wish that it popped up here as well, rather than just super sticker. But it is a very super one. The TMO, I miss Sanchez and Colby play. Is the only reason I supported Toulouse. Colby, there were rumors he was going to be going back to South Africa to play, but then I think they all got shut down. He felt it wasn't. Oh, okay. Josh Van and Fleur getting pushed around. I think he's injured at the moment. Josh Van and Fleur. I'm not too sure what happened, but he looks like he's a little bit wobbly on his feet. And gets them a try away and builds momentum, or gets them a try away and builds momentum. I guess that is a brilliant kick, though. 50-22 now for Toulouse. Right, they are going to be checking this one for the TMO, though, I would think. They might be going upstairs just to check what happened between Josh Van and Flair and Aldeigri. Who got the better of it? I know that Josh Van and Flair got smashed, but whether or not he got smashed because he did something first or whether he got smashed because he just was hit. Head-on-head contact. Could be foul plays, what they've just said. Direct to his head. Oh. Okay, so what's happened there is the number 17 has dropped his head like this. Josh Van and Flair charged in. Oh, okay. It's kind of like a leading headbutt. He goes like that, flicks it up. So this might be a little bit ugly for the number 17 there because it's kind of coming like a, yeah. Yeah, his head snaps back, Josh Van and Flair. This will be an interesting one. Leinster ran into him. He did, but it didn't mean that he had to try and knock his block off. He's gone in with the headbutt to the chest for the first one, and then Josh Van and Flair goes in more with the shoulder charge the second time because he got bumped off the first time. So he decides to go back in with his shoulder and ends up getting... It's one of those ones how neither player is completely in the right because Josh Van der Flair, he's not wrapping his arms there, but that does not mean that the other guy can hit him in the head like that. So it's going to be red or yellow by the sound of it. Tana Umanga. It's not tiddlywinks. 2 yellow cards. Yeah, it's almost, that's the thing. Like Van der Flair charging in like this. Okay, it's going to be a 10-minute yellow card here. Or Toulouse's prop. They've said there's no arms being used. He's straight in with the head. Now, that's the thing. I'm listening to the Irish commentators at the moment. They aren't mentioning the fact that Josh Van der Flair also did not go into that tackle with any arms. Now, if the French player hadn't put his head up like that, Josh Van der Flair probably would have connected with the shoulder charge to him. But because the French player got too keen and went upwards, it's an interesting one. Either player could have ended up getting probably told off there for that one. Van der Flair making no attempt at a tackle, says Blues Nate. Yeah, so he got bumped off first time, which was kind of a headbutt to the chest by the Toulouse player. And then from there, he came in side on. There was no attempt to wrap from Josh Van der Flair, but because the challenge from the number 17 was worse, he's the one who gets the penalty for it, if that makes sense. Too many grey areas nowadays. Well, rugby, sort this nonsense out, says Stephen Marks. And the magnificent, dangerous tackle forgotten by the referees. If it has been done by a Toulouse player, it was a red card. But we are used to against the Irish. Now the rolling ball for Leinster. This might end up with their momentum as well, and it's going to be none other. It looks like it's going to be Josh Van der Flair who scores the try, and it is. And a bad call. Van der Flair initiated the contact. Yeah, he got bumped off, and then he came back in. And yeah, it's a rough one. And it's led to Leinster now taking full momentum at this stage. And it's Josh Van der Flair who does end up scoring the try as well. That will not make the French supporters very happy at all. Yeah, the commentators, I can hear that they are very happy with the way that it's ended up going. Twice made no attempt at all, BS Barnes. See, that's the thing. If you're looking at it from, like, I guess the only thing I can think is maybe, but they didn't mention it. I was going to say maybe they would have penalised Josh Van der Flair had he not been headbutted. But then I don't know. My brain hurts. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Leinster. And there, La Finale, says Yona. Now Ross Burns it in 5. From 5. 8 minutes remaining of that yellow card. That could be the decision that changes this game, ladies and gentlemen. Unless Toulouse are able to fight back with the disadvantage that they have now got. Drew Hamish, I got you. There's Blues Nate. Now it is going to be kicked, and that is successful. It's gone over, and that will make the score now 34 points to 17. Leinster 4 tries in this contest. Toulouse just the 2. Kerr has donated again. He's got another hippo. He has got KO, which it almost was for Josh Van der Flair. He almost got his block knocked off, but luckily he's awake enough to be able to score that try for the Leinster boys. They were firing up the crowd big time. There's Johnny Sexton wearing a suit, not wearing the tie today. We got another one. Game over from Kerr. I feel like that one is a very that could be the case. That's on an oosh. You'll be a millionaire before this game up, Hamish, says Duzzy Williams. Yeah, I feel like Kerr's just woken up and he's chosen to be a very generous individual, which is it's incredibly pressure. I forgot how to use my tongue there. I had to poke it out to get it in the right place again. Do fish have tongues? Do hippos have tongues? Hippos would have a tongue, wouldn't they? How big's a hippo's tongue? Be a bit of a decent size. And I will now only communicate through stickers. Just that comment in its own is crazy because, like, each time you use a sticker, that's like you're at least giving £1.49. Like, just from like to use words of stickers is, I'll say it's the first time that it's ever happened. Jameson Gibson Park. I just hope they've got enough of a variety for your hippo range 20 minutes remaining. That's still a long time. 34 points to 17 at the moment. Jorge Marchand in the field of play. Again, I'm ready for this line out. Throws it into the front, nicely taken by Flemont. Oh, risky from Dupont. Decided to try and run it, and now he's found himself getting taken down only 5 meters out from his own line. Don't start pulling, says Wayne. I don't know why that sentence made me laugh. It just sounds funny, doesn't it? So now they are going to be joining. Luckily, they have got 2 9s, so they can use either of them. So they will be putting it back into the pocket. Thomas Ramos now looking for touch, gets it down towards the 22. Someone's buying a bigger boat, or someone's buying a bigger boat. The Hippo Parties. Says Blues Nate. Although it's already it's a pretty big boat already. It's a good size one. Was it called Lady of the Seas, or have I got that wrong? Oh, sorry, I can't ask that question. Do they have a yes or a no section? Was it Lady of the Seas? It's something of the seas, and it's going to annoy me that I can't remember it now. Something of the seas. That was another victory for an Irish team playing at 16. Says Northing. There as well. Now Kieran Frawley goes across. Gary Ringrose once again hitting it up. Only 15 metres out from the line now for Leinster. Now, the last time that they did have a yellow card against the Toulouse side, they did it. That's super effective. So is that a yes? It's a penalty to Leinster. I'm actually malfunctioning. Thank you very much, Kerr. Once again. You're super effective. So I assume it is Lady of the Seas, or it's something similar anyway. A manatee is the cow of the seas, says Gareth. Or manatee. Another penalty to Leinster. They have kicked it for the corner, so that was playing the 9. That got him penalised there. 62 and a half minutes gone. Line out now for Dan Sheehan. Thrown in. Nicely taken. And now they start to march again now for Leinster. Driving beautifully here. This is going to be tough to stop. Toulouse, they may have illegally dragged it down. If they do end up giving away the advantage, they could end up with the yellow card. That man's knees are down, so he is not able to attack anymore. That might have been offside from Jack Willis. Now, Dan Sheehan drops his head, asks for the penalty, complains about it as well. Captain Kerr and Mrs. Kerr have a wonderful stickers are too restrictive. It was Spectrum of the Seas. Now I'm on Celebrity Silhouette. It's over the try line again for Leinster, and that should now secure it. So they'll have the home final, and Kerr is the real MVP. He certainly is. He certainly is. Jokes still don't get any better, no matter how much he's done. The puns are still really bad for myself. Irish pubs must be booming. Number 1 status. Enjoy it while it lasts. There's Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Is that another one? Says Kurt. Certainly is another try for Leinster. Or if that's for Kerrs, then yes, it is another Kerr one. Kerr doing Kerr things at the moment. A great try. Who was that? Number 19. Ui. He is Jason Jenkins. Thought it was the big man. Scores the try. Geez, they've had a lot of tries, mostly scored by forwards in this match. Unfortunately, not with the wife. She is at home. But we'll be with her again next week for a short holiday to Romania. Oh, you might see Sebastian. He's in Romania. And the Irish prefer their games. Here's Michael. Now 65 minutes gone. Ross Byrne lining up the kick. Crowd looking pretty decent sized, and they will be back next week for another game. From beginning of the game, Barnes was on Leinster, says Bernie. And if I wish Toulouse could have had a better second half, don't like Leinster at all. I think I'm speaking for all South Africans when I say that, says Jetson. Well, it's interesting because it's going to be Leinster Sharks next week in the URC, isn't it? So that will be definitely an intriguing game to see. And we will be covering that one on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, I should mention, alongside the game beforehand, which is going to be the Stormers taking on the Bulls. And this is the same Leinster team who played Bulls last week. Damn. And then your consistency deserves all the good coming your way, says Deborah. I have more donations and come to way or come your way. You put in the hours and you'll reap what you I've forgotten how to read. You'll reap what you sow. Keep going. Thanks for the donors, says Deborah there. Thank you very much, Deborah. It means a lot. And also thank you everyone who has donated on this live stream. Because it's one of those ones that, even though to a certain extent we have probably not done as many live streams over the last few weeks as we had prior, we have still got plans of doing a lot of matches. Like, that's the thing. We're not slowing down to the point of only doing 1 or 2 a weekend. We're still going to be consistently doing around that 5+ mark each and every week, no matter what. And then we've also got the Ashes coming up soon that we will be covering on the channel. So they will be late night games as well. I've seen how far behind my live stream connector is, because I've got it on so that I can see what emojis or what badges and stickers Kerr has got. But it's actually just showing Tyke Furlong when he gave away that penalty. That was actually at the very start of the second half, I think. If I'm not wrong. Book some dental repairs while you're at it. They're world class and super affordable. Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. And if you want to win against Leinster in the European Cup, you need a Titans game. You start the match 10 points behind. The referee waits for the slightest opportunity to destroy you. And how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Boom. That came off the tongue pretty smoothly. I'm actually kind of happy about that, because normally tongue twisters, you're a little bit 50-50. Like, try and say Shelley sat on the stool 5 times fast, ladies and gentlemen. See what you come back with. It'll get a bit messy for Shelley, depending on how it comes out. So it's Shelley sat on the stool. See how that goes. Yeah, how much wood one actually flew off nicely. It's quite speedy too. Balance, says Wayne Barnes. Balance of every stage. The scrum has been a bit scrappy from both of these sides in terms of trying to find that happy medium of both sides being in the right position. Should mention Michael Alaratoa now also out there on the field. And Deb agreed. Says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Yeah, we've got a lot of behind the scenes stuff we're still working on. We've got the GoPro cricket, which is still going to be popping out every once in a while. George has been working on his gaming videos as well. So you did see that most recent one was one that he ended up editing through. So we've got plenty coming up on the old Kiwi Lads. And plus that massive video that I mentioned that I want to make as good as physically possible. And I just have fingers crossed that it comes out the way that I envision it. Because if it doesn't, then I feel like it's going to be disappointing. I want to make it perfect. Making it perfect is going to be tricky to do. But you know what they say, practice makes perfect. I know. It's the saying anyway. It's like us fishing. First day we weren't catching anything. Now we can't stop catching them. That's just because there's too many fish, though, I think, rather than our skill. Right. Here we go. Leinster, they win themselves another penalty. We've got another donation from Kerr. And he's doing the speedy wheel thing. That would actually be a cool one to have flying across the bottom of the screen with the hippo starting on one side and going straight across. That is going to be now both on the ball. So I believe it becomes the scrum in favour of Toulouse. And also going to run need to hit it to him. Well, thank you very much, Kerr. Hugely appreciated you being here. Good luck to your Glasgow boys. Hopefully they do end up winning their game and we get to cover their final next week or the week after or whenever the final is. The week might actually be in a few weeks' time that the final is, but hopefully they make it through and we will get the chance of covering their final. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. Yeah, it is good to see you back. Andrew Porter, he's now making his way off the field. So a lot of changes being made for these sides now. Only 13 minutes remaining. It's because you got up and went fishing in the first place. That's why you were catching the fish. Thank you for getting up, says Deborah. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I snuck an hour's sleep before this live stream. And I don't know whether an hour's sleep helps in terms of sleepiness, but I woke up and then I fell back asleep. Luckily, I set 2 alarms because or else then this live stream may not have happened, which would have been a different financial situation for myself and Kerr, had that been the case. That's a big push from Toulouse. They now get themselves the penalty advantage. On the ground now. How many points at the moment between them? I think it's 24 points difference. Oh, it's a forward pass on Ramos trying to force it, but they did have the advantage. They will go back for the penalty. That's the thing, though. Toulouse taking 3 points earlier on. It almost shifted the momentum for them. Like there was that little bit of it, but then Leinster ended up taking it back at that yellow card. It's been quite the hectic game. Kian Healy, 262nd cap for Leinster. And thanks, Kerr, bless your heart, for giving back. Says Deborah in there as well. But yeah, I'm 100% serious in regards of any donations today. They are going straight back into the channel. Like I mentioned, we've got that big video coming up, which I hope turns out well. It will take quite a long time to film. We need a lot of locations and a lot of different shots and whatnot. But everything straight back into it. Hard drive, probably the next thing that we're going to need because mine keep on blowing up. So that will be my next task. So they are now making the change. Juan Cruz Malia, his day is over. Now, Machon with the line out throw. Goes in and stolen by Leinster. Orders backwards. Ross Maloney taking that one. Or was it Ross Maloney? Number 20. Who was 20? Well, I got to have a quick memory. No, sorry, Ryan Beard came on at number 20, didn't he? Now Toulouse, taking it quickly. It's just gone the 5 meters, so we'll just play on now. They're looking to not concede again. And I should mention the winner of this game, which at the moment does seem like it could be the side wearing the blue. They will be heading on to the next game, the final, in which they will be taking on the winner of Exeter Chiefs versus La Rochelle. Now, it would be interesting because Leinster have played La Rochelle in a recent Champions Cup a couple of years ago, and La Rochelle were able to beat the Leinster boys. So who knows whether or not that will be the case in the final, if it does happen. Now, nice run from Raman into Mac. Kicks it in behind. Loose ball. Leinster dropping that one. Might be a bit slippery up there now, unfortunately, due to the rain that we have had. Now back across to the left-hand side. Down behind. It was inside. Was it taken back? No. They say that it's fine. So it is now going to be a line-out throw for Toulouse, about 35 out. That is a big yawn. We've seen 5 tries from Leinster. We've seen 2 from Toulouse at this point. Sounds like they are making another change. It will be Ross Byrne off the field now for Harry Byrne. And a massive blessing for you and welcome to the Kiwi Lads Zebra. And there as well. Now Toulouse, 40 metres. Thrown it in, all overthrown there on the line out. They do still manage to end up with the ball. Antoine Dupont inside ball to Peter Aki. Unfortunately for Toulouse, too many times they've just been stuck in that position of not being able to advance up the field enough. Whereas Leinster, when they get this ball moving and they get that ruck speed going, gaps have just been opening up flat out. It seems to be raining everywhere in South Africa. It's raining in a lot of areas too after some time. Says Deborah. So that Western Province versus the Bulls game for the Currie Cup that is just around the corner, I assume. Might have a little bit of rain for it. And thanks, Blues. Here's Deborah. Now nice run from Ryan Beard. Moves to 40 metres out from the line. Out to the left. Another big shot on Harry Byrne. Bit of a tip tackle there from Dupont, but the ball stays in the field of play. Leinster still in possession. Jack Willis makes the tackle there on James Ryan. Now back into the pocket. Looks like they will be kicking this one. It is taken back. Frawley puts up the torpedo. Cross kick. Josh Van and Flair unable to take it. Matthias Lebel doing well. That hit the shins. Oh, they've called it a knock on against Toulouse. If they did that hit his hand, I thought it was straight off the shins there for Toulouse. He does look disappointed, so maybe he did get a bit of a hand for it as well. Lebel caught it. Oh, yeah, just a fingertip. And then off the knees of Thomas Ramos, who has had a game to forget. He has been pretty rough throughout the first 72 minutes of this game. Unfortunately, though, that is just due to that pressure that we're seeing from Leinster. Okay, I think Wayne Barnes, he just mentioned something in French. I believe that would have been something about keeping that height again, like he said to the players throughout this matchup. Now, about to feed this one in. Not a lot of time remaining on the clock. So Leinster, if they can get, I mean, getting 50 points would be a huge statement, but I think more than likely here, they will just be looking to get one more try and close out this game on a high. Nice pass. That next one wasn't so good, though. It does end up skidding along low. Now, nice stepping from Jimmy O'Brien. If you've ever had ever up in Norway, how do you say that last part? Is it Bodor or something along those lines, maybe? And a beer's waiting for you, Hammy. In Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Yeah, if I ever travel to a different country, I have to let you guys know because we've actually got people from around the world all over the place. So, yeah, if you ever head to Norway, what is there to do in Norway, Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi? If I was to go, what would you say is the best thing to do in Norway? Or the best few things? What are the attractions? Matthijs Lebel trying to bump off again. Dupont. Inside ball. It's worked out this time, but the drop ball coming straight after from the Toulouse number 21. Now it's going to be Kieran Frawley. Back across here. Ryan Baird taken down low. Gary Ringrose, good aggressive run. How many minutes are left? At the moment, there are 73 and a half minutes gone, so only 6.5 minutes remaining now. Toulouse managing to get the steal on the breakdown. Ramos goes across now to Peter Aki. He's actually had a pretty good game, Peter Aki. I think he's been the best of the backs. And congrats to Leinster, says Gianpaolo. They'll be moving through to the final to take on either La Rochelle or the Exeter Chiefs. We will know tomorrow night which way it ends up going. We'll be covering that one on the channel as well. And thank you, says Trevor. No worries. A ball being rolled back. Being told to use it again here, Leinster. Goes high. Ramos taking nicely. Finds the gap down this left-hand side, but Leinster pretty quick at shutting that down. Oh. DuPont. Oh, no. When it's not your day, it's not your day. DuPont was trying to milk the penalty with the player not rolling away, and they say he had his hands on the ball and put his foot into touch. Tough side, this Irish side. Hard to beat top guys, says Michael. Yeah, the Sharks next week. That's the thing. They have a tough schedule at the moment, Leinster. Because next weekend, they have to play in the URC quarterfinals, and that is going to be up against a tough side in the Sharks. Luckily for them, it's a home game. Imagine if that was on the road. That would be very hard on the body and traveling so much. Yeah, we've got 3 games back-to-back on Sunday with Stormers versus the Bulls, Leinster versus the Sharks, and then Glasgow versus Munster, all taking place on that Sunday that we will be covering. And you've paid the 3 referees once more. Well done, the Irish, says Max G. Behind now by Leinster, taken near the touchline for Lebel. Back inwards. I think he's got a good chance of being in that French World Cup squad, although it looks like he might have picked up a little bit of an injury there from that big shot that came in. Once again, they do look into the pocket. Ramos goes off to Dupont. Off his right boot. Straight down to Hugo Keenan, who now finds himself in position on the halfway line. Good tackle from Intermac. Just manages to keep that ball in the field of play, but there was a partial knock on the ground from Kieran Frawley. And Toulouse have now got themselves the scrum. Man of the match was Jameson Gibson Park, number 9. And also we've got there, next year grew up, says Michael. Although, to be fair, in this game, there have been a couple interesting calls. Not saying no one's paid no one, just saying there's been a couple interesting ones. And Abby, you can come fishing. But what I love is snorkeling around the cliffs on low tide for shellfish. That sounds very nice. That's Wonderland up there, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. I wonder how you would get to Norway from here. In terms of flights, I feel like there'd be about 3 or so crossovers. I don't think they go direct to Norway. You'll probably go maybe from New Zealand to Australia to England, or maybe somewhere like maybe you go to Fiji, then somewhere closer, I guess, to get there. But it'd certainly be a once in a lifetime opportunity, wouldn't it? Go snorkeling in Norway. Now it's going to be kicked in behind by Leinster. Just playing the territory game at the moment. They know that there's only 3 minutes left on the clock and that Toulouse cannot score many points when they are inside of their own half. Big kick downfield from Intermac. Are we going to get another try? I think another try for Leinster is just around the corner. And if I had to pick someone to score it, we haven't seen many backs scoring tries. So I'm going to say Jordan Lama. We saw him in that breakdown, help create the opportunity for Leinster to turn it over. So yeah, I'll go Jordan Lama. Last try of the match in the 79th minute. Let's see if we can get it correct. If we do, I'll give myself a pat on the back, I guess. That's about the only prize we've got for that. And I've also got to hurry because it's almost the 79th minute already. And we'll see for a new defeat against La Rochelle, says Max G there. Now, Toulouse actually getting that ball back at line-out time. So doing well. Now, big bump off from Peter Aki, getting his legs wrestled out from underneath him, ball popping out again. It seems like ruck security is something that's been lacking a little bit in this contest for Toulouse. Every time that could be down to the ruck speed of Leinster and also the pressure that they are able to put on. Michael said Exeter not out. True, Exeter Chiefs, they are a good side. And I'm trying to think back. Who's played? I know that Leinster have played La Rochelle. I think they've also played Exeter Chiefs. I think they played them in the group stages, didn't they? Either this year or last year. Now Frawley kicks it in behind. The ball's curling. It hits the corner flag, but it does roll out. So they will have to go all. Toulouse decide to take it quickly. He's nailed in the low tackle. Brilliant one from Jordan Lama. Ball becomes almost available. That is a player leaving his feet. I believe that was the replacement, number 16 for Leinster, moving up to the 79th minute now. Will be, says Max G. But yeah, we will be covering that Exeter Chiefs versus La Rochelle game on the channel tomorrow night. Be sure to stick around for that. There's an Irish pub opening up here soon. So fingers crossed, live rugby, because live coverage is scarce. Says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. So yeah, if they have a live while you're watching the games, it will always be like, I love the atmosphere of a good pub / bar / restaurant when there is like sport on. You just get that good vibe from it. Definitely when people are watching alongside whatever they're doing. Okay, now 17 seconds remaining. Jack Willis taken down nicely again. Now 10 seconds remaining. Toulouse, what do you do here if you're Toulouse? Do you wait for the full-time siren, kick that ball into touch? Or do you go for one last attack and you play for pride? That was a bit of a DDT there. Nice run from Antoine Dupont. Look for the flick pass. Goes back, finds the hands of Thomas Ramos in the end in one of the most unorthodox ways that it could have. Now Leinster, 3 men already to the breakdown before Toulouse even had their first man there. Going off to the right into Mac. Now, Peter Aki. To be honest, if Toulouse won, I think he would have got man of the match. He has been very good in their midfield. Nicely picked up by the replacement. Number 22 now, Lebel. Through the legs from the big number 17. That is normally why props don't try skills like that. It didn't quite work out for him. Now Dupont, another big run. Finds the offload to Jack Willis. Taken down, almost stripped there from Frowley. And he goes the way of Toulouse. So, they're still in that case of, I mean, they've got a tough top 14 season to lose, so they don't want to risk any injuries here. And they are playing for pride, but they also don't want to just tap this and kick the ball out. They want to make sure that they end this game on a statement, getting a win. Or sorry, not getting a win, but getting themselves a try. The next game is actually next week. That is up against Bordeaux, who on the table currently are sitting in fourth. I remember right at the start, Bordeaux were having a fantastic season, sitting right up there at the top of the bunch. Got 10 losses, 12 wins. Toulouse at the top of the bunch with La Rochelle just behind them. They are playing tomorrow night. La Rochelle boys. Now William Auchan will be throwing this ball in, nicely taken. And now they go for the rolling ball. Can they seal the deal with one last try? And also, Hamish Loester won. I watched last year's semi and he was very good. He actually wasn't in their lineup for this game. Not in the starting, not off the bench. I think he had an injury. Oh, that's a try. Or is it? No. It is try for Toulouse, so they will have the final say in this contest. It's Jack Willis who did manage to get it. But yeah, I think he's got some sort of injury at the moment, James Lowe. But he should be back by the time we get to the Rugby World Cup, I believe. I'm not wrong. It is a nice last-minute rolling maul try from Toulouse. So this game will more than likely end 41 points to 24, but that does mean that Leinster will be going through to the next stage of the Champions Cup, and that will be the final where they do play either La Rochelle or the Exeter Chiefs. But I do thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. It's been a fun one. We have had a lot of the regulars from the Northern Hemisphere popping in and out. It's been great to see. We have got plenty more coming up in the near future, including the game tomorrow night. Like I mentioned, Exeter Chiefs taking on La Rochelle. Kick from Ramos was unsuccessful, so that's kind of summarised his day. He hasn't really had the best crack of it. And Tar removed the pot. Pitch left try. I certainly do. He has that magic Dupont, but he didn't quite have it today, unfortunately for him. And Toulouse just couldn't quite find an answer for this Leinster ruck speed and their crisp backline movements. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing some of you guys tomorrow. Hope you do have a good rest of your day/night, depending on whereabouts you are in the world. And I will see you all for the next one.